All right, what's up, good people? It's your boys. One half of the Beards of War. You got myself, Thick Nick Fury, aka the Chocolate Avenger, the conductor of chaos. Hey, Captain Jack, and we're gonna bring you guys Netflix's Daredevil, Born Again, season 2. Right, so we're already 2 seasons into this show. It's kind of like a reboot from the original Daredevil series, starring Charlie Cox. It's a very good storytelling. I think we're getting more into the storytelling aspect and not so much of the action, even though you get some really good action here. I love the story arcs. I love the character developments. It's going in a dark path. We're seeing some, like, again, Kingpin, Vincent D'Onofrio. I can't say enough about the dude. D'Onofrio is just fantastic as Kingpin. I'm probably the most interested in that character arc of all of them. But as we know, he's developed the the Anti-Vigilante Task Force, the AVTF, aka like ICE equivalent, and their whole job is literally to catch and destroy pretty much all the vigilantes and their accomplices, right? So that's kind of like the premise for season 2. Of course, we know Fisk, Kingpin, is the mayor of New York, and he's using his powers. He's kind of flexing that muscle a little bit. And, there's a lot. There's a lot to cover. I know Captain Jack just like binge watched it. I've been watching it episode by episode. So he's binge watched it, and it keeps you involved. Like, it gets you involved. Like, once you start watching, it's like, man, I can't wait to see what happens next. How are they going to do this? What's the outcome? I don't know, man. Where do you want to start? You want to start with the Northern Star, which I think is the first episode of season 2. They're smuggling arms through the New York City, and Daredevil kind of thwarts it a little bit, right?
Yeah, I mean it's been an awesome season. I did go through and I binge watched, so a lot of it's just rushing together, right? But I remember, we get that he's on board the ship and then he sinks the ship, and then now we've got the CIA character Charlie,
Mr.
right?
Charles, yeah. Matthew Lillard, man,
Mr.
shout out.
Charles.
From the Scream movies, Scooby Doo, played Shaggy. Good to see him. I like his character. His character has that, that smart as I'm more important than you think I am kind of thing, kind of vibe, and he pushes back, so he kind of knows his importance.
Yeah, I think he'll end up rolling up to what is her name? She's been in the main MCU movies, but
Which one, Jessica?
Elaine,
Rosario Dawson?
whatever Elaine's real
Oh, I
name
know
is.
you. Yeah, I know you're talking. Yeah,
Yeah.
that you start throwing those characters in. I'm like, dude, I did not research that, but yeah, I know.
Well, so he'll be reporting to her chain, right? So we can see they're really starting to intermix these. And one of the other characters that we see in this season is they bring in Jessica Jones.
Right.
And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here because, episode 1, but we're still talking like Jessica Jones shows up. She's in the fight, right? She looks like she's able to kick some butt, no problems. They show up to her house and she just throws down. She's got a child.
Mm.
We hear a little bit later in the season that child, but we don't hear anything about who's the parent, but there is a reference to Luke Cage.
Yeah, and the baby is a very beautiful parent and biracial child. So that did lead me to believe that this baby is a mix of Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. I'm not upset about it at all. So that baby's probably going to come up and do some damage. But we also know that she's kind of having issues with her powers. Like, she has it and she doesn't, right? So that could come. I don't really know the storyline behind that yet. Like, I don't know what the issue with her powers, like turning on and off. But I guess that'll be answered at some point. I think they're only doing 8 episodes this season, so I think the next episode will be the finale for the season. But like I said, we have a lot going on with the vigilante trials, which of course is being run by Mayor Fisk and the tribunal of judges who are basically like, dude, it doesn't even matter about facts anymore. Like, it's whatever, like, whatever you
What
say
jury?
goes, right? Right. So they're trying to defend the swordsman and the doctor. I forget, Dr. Glenn, I believe her name is.
Yeah, Dr. Glenn.
So she's got some PTSD issues, right? Like, she's constantly seeing, the person. I forget the guy's name with the mask. That season 1. Yeah,
Muse.
yeah. There you go. The Muse. Yeah. So she's constantly seeing visions of him. So she's getting a little bit, unhinged. Buck, kind of brought that out of her a little bit. Like it was like, okay, what's going on here? So I don't know what's going on with her. She did steal like one of Vanessa's earrings, and then Fix saw that, and he was like, here, just gave her the other one. Like you can't get nothing over on Kingpin, bro. Like he sees it all.
And
But
I mean, I
yeah,
wanted to be like they didn't pay it off. They didn't show us how he knew. And I
mm-hmm.
think that's probably intentional, right? Like, because everything in these is intentional. But I did feel show me the security system, show me something to like where how he figured it out, because
Right.
there's a lot of people at that party at the funeral, so like could have been anybody. But we do. I guess we also know that Buck found her in there, so
Mm-hmm.
maybe Buck could have been like, oh well, I saw
One plus
Doctor
one equals
Glennon
two.
there,
But we also,
but
and one of the things too is I recall this from the original Daredevil series is Kingpin is very OCD, right? Like I remember when he
yeah,
used to make breakfast, he made sure everything was just so. So it's like if something's out of place, he notices it, right? Obviously, a huge storyline in this season 2 is Vanessa. She gets injured, severely injured during a fight, during one of the fights that Fisk is having a boxing match, kind of like a charity boxing match that, of
yeah,
course,
charity fundraiser,
right. And then Bullseye comes in. He tries to make an assassination attempt again, and Fisk shatters the statue, and a piece of it goes into Vanessa's brain. And it was kind of like, oh man, they killed. I thought she died then, right? But then the twist was, she gets to the hospital. A brilliant surgeon uh, successfully removes it, and then you can kind of see like, oh wait a minute, she's not all together there, right? It's almost like some
yeah.
aspects of like dementia, or whatever you want to call it. And suddenly she's like, oh, I want pineapple juice, and he's like, you don't like
You
pineapple
don't
juice,
like
it makes
pineapple
your lips
juice?
tingle, right? Like, and it really, what it was an allergic reaction, but he just went, oh, this makes your lips tingle. Like he didn't think of anything of it, but she wants pineapple juice, get her pineapple juice. And ultimately that's what killed her, right? So it put her, I believe, into anaphylactic shock or whatever, and she
Hmm.
dies, right? So now Kingpin has lost the one grounding element that he has, right? Like it was all about Vanessa. You could see even in this interaction, he almost always looked at her for confirmation, right? It's kind of like Leonidas in 300. When he looks back at Queen Gorgon, she's like, the head nod, like, okay, cool. The queen says go, I go, right? So he was very much in tune with Vanessa. And now the doctor comes in after this, and Kingpin's like, oh, okay, you're the reason why she's dead. And he just literally just kills the doctor right there on the floor. Buck comes in and is like, okay, let me go ahead and clean this up, because this is just going to get worse. It's going to get worse from here. And that's where you just know Kingpin is like kind of
He's
becoming,
losing it, man.
right. He's becoming that guy now. Like now it's going to be like gloves off. Like it doesn't even matter anymore. Like legalities be damned. Attorney general's coming here for what? Like the governor, okay, have her killed. Like he doesn't care anymore. There's no one to look at and say it's okay if we do this. Like he's doing it all. There's no more like barrier. Like so he's gonna go balls to the wall. And of course, Daredevil's still struggling with the situation with Bullseye. As we know, Bullseye killed Foggy on Vanessa's orders, right? He's kind of struggling with that, and Karen wants to kill Bullseye, but yet Daredevil like, we can't kill him. And Bullseye wants redemption, right? He wants to do one good thing before he dies, so Daredevil won't let him die, so he can kind of fulfill that promise. And then he does kind of use him for that attack on the governor, which we saw coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Bullseye steps in, and he stepped in a couple of times. Like he's saved Daredevil's hide, I think twice now, right? On the attack in the apartment, when the ABTF get Cherry, and they unmask Daredevil, like, oh man, it's Matt Murdock, and next thing you know, pop, 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 like everybody's dead. Like, okay, well, at least you
You're
knew for
welcome.
5 minutes, right? Dead men tell no tales.
That's right. Yeah, and that's kind of funny how they bring in there's limits, right? So like in filmmaking, sometimes people write rules. And so there's a rule with Daredevil that he doesn't kill, right? He'll
Like Batman.
incapacitate people, but he doesn't kill. And so, to finish off some of these storylines, you've got to bring in other troubled characters, Frank, you got to bring in, friggin' Bullseye, people to come in who don't have the same conflict and Catholic
Right.
guilt that he does.
Yeah. Frank has zero issues.
Frank's just like
I
pop, pop,
can't
pop, pop, pop.
wait. Right, I can't wait for Frank to show up, man. It's like they've been teasing it too long, man. We went through all of season 2, man. Come on, man. Like, really,
Spider
guys?
Man. Spider-Man, we're
Like,
gonna get it,
go ahead
man.
and give it to me. Give it to me. We've been waiting for it. Just go ahead and give it to me. And let's go ahead full. I'm okay with a full on. I know Disney, but a full on R-rated, like, Daredevil Spider-Man crossover. Like, we're talking Hell's Kitchen. We're talking about, vigilantes and the crime in New York being rampant. You're talking about the Punisher, for Christ's sake. Come on, man. Like, let's do what we're supposed to do with these characters, right? If you're gonna go down that road, let's go down that road, right? You don't bring the Punisher in for PG nothing. There's nothing PG about Punisher. Okay, which is
Who do you
probably
think is
why he hasn't
stopping
been
it?
in there yet. Was
Who do you
that
think's stopping it? Do you think it's Disney or Sony who's stopping Spider-Man being in a rated R film?
Disney has historically kind of pushed back. I mean, Deadpool Wolverine was like, oh wow, you can make a lot of money doing this, huh? Yeah, yeah, and stocks aren't doing
Hey,
great,
the
so go ahead,
doors are
Disney.
opening.
Right, but you always kind of want to protect Spider-Man. Spider-Man is like one of those protected type of
He's a
superheroes,
teenager.
right?
Yeah.
And he resonates so much with children, and I think I mentioned this before. One of the most, I think, touching things that Stan Lee said about Spider-Man was the reason why he was completely covered was so that every kid could believe he was Spider-Man. And I'm like, man, that's something you kind of do want to keep wholesome, right? Like, you know what, these are for kids of all ages. Like, Spider-Man just transcends, like, more than Superman, more than Batman. Spider-Man is literally that character that it's almost like he doesn't grow up. He's like Peter Pan, like Spider-Man can do
Yeah.
no wrong. So yeah, wanting to go dark with Spider-Man, I could see the pushback on that. And that could just be like from Marvel heads on down. Like, I don't know too many people who want to sign up to an R-rated Spider-Man film, or at least
Yeah.
where
But I
he's
mean,
the aggressor.
yeah, Peter Parker being in a crossover though, like I think we could get that. He's
Right.
not the main character, he's just guest appearance. I think we could see that, but I don't know if they'll give Frank Castle his own show, right? Like, is he gonna get his own movie?
Well,
I don't know. But
we've done it, and it would be R-rated. That's the only way to do it, right? That's the only way to do it right is to be R-rated. I mean, we got away with the Thomas Jane version, which a lot of people do like, but that's not really Punisher. That's not the Punisher we know, right? To attach Spider-Man to an R-rated film is risky because once the children find out Spider-Man's in the movie, cue the
they're gonna
popcorn.
wanna go.
Cue the popcorn.
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna tell a kid he can't see a Spider-Man movie. Like, but he's only in it for 5 minutes. It doesn't matter. You got to leave it completely out of the credits. Like, there can't be any teasers, any leaks, trailers, nothing. Like, you can't even connect the dots on it. Spider-Man is just he's untouchable. I'll say that of all the superheroes, I think Spider-Man is probably the most untouchable. Next would be Superman. Superman, just like, they're so, man, we can't really
It's
push
such a
that button,
clean
right? So
yeah, clean
wholesome
show
and
kinda concept.
right. He's the greatest American hero, no pun intended. But he is like the altar boy for superheroes, right? So Spider-Man, Superman, it's kind of like we got to leave it at PG. I think that's just the way it's going to be. Batman is border, because Batman is essentially a darker character. But even with him, right? They'll go to a certain point, but it's never. That's why, because Batman doesn't kill, right? Same as Spider-Man, he does not kill. Superman has never killed a, like, these characters have never killed anyone. Punisher, everybody gets smoked.
Right, right,
So
right.
right. So that's not hard to do. Deadpool, that's not hard to do. That's what he does. But for those characters who have that background, yeah, that's gonna be a difficult transition to make because you're sacrificing that superhero at that point. You've kind of lost the innocence of the youth if you do that. So yeah, attaching up Spider-Man to an R-rated film is very risky. And I don't know that Sony or Disney or Marvel want to take that leap. Get somebody else. Throw somebody else in there. Leave Spider-Man out of it, man. I don't know of a way you could do it.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it, but I mean, that's coming from me as an adult, in body, so not in mind all the time. But yeah, to go that way with Spider-Man might be risky. But Daredevil for sure. Like, I could see it. I mean, Daredevil's pretty dark now. The fight scenes, like, he's cracking bones. He's angry. His fights are angry. They're aggressive. I love the choreography. The choreography has been fantastic. Yeah, and Kingpin is that guy. You can't really make it a PG type villain because he's that diabolical, like, and he backs it up. His figure is imposing. So I think the way they're going with this and the fact that, well, Gandolfini, I think it's that who played Daniel in the film, who did a fantastic job. And he gets assassinated by Buck because he won't turn BB in. Meanwhile, she's leaking stuff like, dude, like journalists are your worst enemy. And she was cute. I ain't gonna lie. I probably would have took a bullet for her too.
I don't even understand what's wrong with Buck. How did she get access? How did she continue to get access to friggin' the mayor after all the shenanigans, right? After the first time, he's supposed to be this hot shit, friggin' guy. He's supposed to know what's going on. Oh, I was in Helmand Province, like,
Mm-hmm.
bro, how did you fail the screenings? Like, how do you know you openly letting a journalist get access to your close hold information?
But
The fact that it took till episode 7 for that
right.
really to be out, like, it was a little bit.
But I think that's also a vetting tactic, right? For Daniel. How deep are you willing to go? Because now burying a nobody in the woods is one thing.
Right.
Killing someone you care about is a whole different thing. And the fact that he wouldn't turn around and says, okay, well, you're not the guy. I already know where she is. I know where she is. He probably does, right? But he's like, okay, I got to kill Daniel because he's not the guy. He's not going to do everything it takes.
It did make me like, come on, guy, you should have known a little bit earlier in the beating that that it wasn't coming, right? Because like Daniel's not a dummy. Like, he didn't know where she was. He didn't want to know. The only one thing was he gave her a phone, and I thought about it, and coming from our world, from our background, I'm like, what's everybody doing being secret people running around with phones? Like, no, come on.
Burner phones,
I know when these characters were written, this technology did not exist, but like, we gotta do something a little bit different here, because that ain't the right. Ain't the right.
Instead of breadcrumbs, man, it's phones, digital footprints.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, so where are we at? We got Karen, who's been arrested now, is on trial, and that is what brings Matt Murdock out of hiding. So he shows up at her trial, and they kind of do get a continuance, because like, oh, it's like this whole big thing that Matt Murdock is back from the land of the dead, like no one knew where he was. It almost leads me to believe that was Kingpin's intention. I need to draw him out.
No, definitely. Like he said, does she know that she's the wounded soldier crying for help who's going to draw out her other soldiers? Like, yeah, no, it was a terrible idea for Matt to show up, but also not, right? Like, we can see his propaganda perspective, right? He wants to make sure that everybody knows, like, hey, I'm still out here, and we're still defending this.
And I took a bullet for the mayor.
Yeah, I took a bullet for the mayor, and all of these things that they're saying.
Right. So now where that's taking me is, okay, you got Matt Murdock that shows up, right? Now that kind of puts a different spin on a trial. What else is going to put a different spin on it is, I'm going to now reveal that I'm Daredevil, and the same vigilantes you're trying to take off the street actually saved the mayor. Uh-oh. Now, this is where Daredevil becomes his only persona, right? Matt Murdock and Daredevil will no longer be two. There's one individual. Right. And this is, I think, where it goes into that darker area of Daredevil, where he's pretty much a complete vigilante. He's no longer like the lawyer. He's just a vigilante now in Hell's Kitchen or wherever, he ends up fighting. And we'll see. Like, that'll be interesting where that storyline goes. But that's the next logical step, I believe, happening, is that kind of, him losing that secret identity of being a lawyer, because it's like, kind of it's hard to believe that, come on, man, this guy's blind. How can he fight? But then at the same time, it's like, I guess you could kind of see it, since, he never shaves. So it's like, the facial hair, the bottom part, even in an original, like, why would you cover the top half of your face? Like, people know you're not looking. So it's like, oh, this guy's blind. Put two and two together. Like, no.
His outfits never made a lot of sense to me, but
no, it's just cool.
I do think we must be getting ready for Defenders, right? Like, we got Luke Cage, we got Jessica, we got friggin' Daredevil. Fist. Now we're just waiting for Iron Fist to show up, and now we got a Defenders movie, which I don't think we'll have. I think we might get a season,
right?
Or
like some cameo,
maybe a series, right?
Right? Yeah. Yeah,
but I don't know. We Frank's don't know. Gonna be in there.
We don't know if we're actually gonna get Luke Cage. Here's why I say this: because whenever they mention it's overseas, okay, so he's not even in the tri-state area. Yeah, no, that means we're probably not gonna see him. It's not like he's close by, or I'm expecting a visit. He's
Do you
out there
think that
somewhere. They mention him because obviously Jessica Jones has that connection with the daughter, and who knows? Maybe we'll see him. I don't know what Michael Coulter is doing right now, but hopefully, I would love to. Luke Cage is one of my favorite shows from the series of
Luke
Marvel.
Cage is awesome? Yeah.
So, especially season one. Season one was phenomenal. Like, if you have not watched Luke Cage, I would say watch season one and just stop there, honestly. Because season two it was okay, but it was not season one. Season one had Mahershala Ali, Alfred Woodard. Like, it added a good level of music, a very Harlem oriented. It was just solid. It was gritty. It was solid. It wasn't over the top. And it was like, dude, I loved it. Like, the whole character development thing was good. You really got invested into the characters, and it wasn't over the top. It wasn't over the top gamey stuff. It was like, wow, man, I could actually see this happening. I could actually see this type
They
of
made you
guy,
believe it.
right, being around Harlem. An ex-convict to kind of keep a low profile, but yet help people. So I could kind of see it. And of course, that whole connection with Kingpin, and they're gonna try to tie all these things together. I don't know if Rosario Dawson will make an appearance. She was up throughout all the Marvel series with every single
Yeah.
one. Like, I think she was in
We
all of
need a
them.
nurse. We need a nurse to be repairing these people.
Right? Yeah.
Where's our medic? We don't have a medic.
There's a chance to fix Iron Fist. I don't know what y'all got to do, but the show was just not
You
great.
didn't like it?
It wasn't great.
I watched it during COVID. Like, I was just, watching all that stuff. And I guess it was interesting. We've also got, so you got Iron Fist, but then you've also got like rings. What is the
Shang-Chi?
Yeah, Shang-Chi and the rings.
We
I
need to
cannot
really
remember
get
the
that
name of
right.
that. Yeah, I know.
Like
I
the one
apologize.
Asian superhero. But continue. I'm going to look it up because
Look it up, brother. Yeah,
we
I
owe
thought that
them
was
that.
a really good storyline. Yeah, I thought it was a great storyline, and I would love to see Kevin Feige's team take a swing at that, right? Like the big
Shang-Chi.
budget
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
The Legend of the Ten Rings.
But
Yeah.
what are the rings? What are the names of the rings? There's something with the rings.
The Legend
Anyways,
of the Ten Rings. That's all I got. There you go.
There you go. All right. So, but I think they could do a really good job with that. And I'm wondering, it's probably not going to be in the Doctor Doom.
Mhm.
So then, is it going to be in a Spider-Man? I don't know. They went to having what? They got 2 tentpole releases annually. That's what the rule is with Disney right now. They're going to put
Right.
out 2 Marvel films a year.
Okay. Yeah.
So probably not this year is the expectation for me then, because I would imagine that next year we would get it.
Yeah, and I think
Possibly.
the best introduction is probably gonna be through Spider-Man because they've already done it.
Okay.
They did it with Matt Murdock and Spider-Man in the Spider-Man movie, so they've already made the connection. All right, cool. That's all you need. You only need the one because if with this Matt Murdock, everyone else is attached to that. So they've already made that connection through the Spider-Man movie. He's there. We know it. He's in the MCU. He made his appearance. That's all you need. Now it's just a matter of, okay, in what situation are we going to bring him in? It makes sense for it to be Spider-Man because where is Spider-Man located? In New York, so it only makes sense, right? Jessica Jones, I did like the original show. Seeing her in this, it was good to see her again, but for me, I don't know, she kind of lost the edge a little bit, like like her sarcasm and wit and all that stuff.
That's the storyline,
right? Well, yeah, but you know what I'm saying, like the character herself, right? I like her character, but I was thinking like, oh wow, maybe she lost a little edge, and maybe you kind of get used to not seeing them, so it's kind of hard to build that that love that you have for that character. I remember when the original show aired. I loved it. I loved her attitude, her sarcasm, all that stuff. It was great. Now she's a mom. Maybe that's it. The mom is a little bit more
rounding
low
off the
key or
edges.
whatever. But yeah, so I want to see where that goes. We already know that Kingpin and Daredevil do not like each other. It's on site. Anytime they see each other, they're fighting. And now, like I said, now that Kingpin doesn't have anything really holding it back, it's gonna get ugly, man. He doesn't care. Like, he literally tried to have the governor killed. So yeah,
no holds
he
barred.
doesn't care.
He's just throwing it all. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
So season finale. What do you think?
Season finale. They've been teasing it like all season. Like, dude, where is everybody? Okay, cool. Let's at least get our Frank Castle, moment. I do think, for me, I believe the finale will involve identities being discovered. Like I think at least that's where they're going to allude to, right? Is that Matt Murdock and Daredevil are one and the same. Because now that puts the onus on Wilson Fisk to these witch trials to get him justified. When wait a minute, this dude is doing the God's work out here. What are you talking about, Wilson? They're not, And then now he loses the city, which they've already said. So Kingpin's kind of losing the city, and this would just be that nail in the coffin. So he's going to do whatever he can to avoid that. So I don't know, man. I think we're going to finally get those guest appearances, even if it's Frank Castle himself, and probably won't get to see Luke Cage or Iron Fist or anything like that. We already seen Jessica Jones in a couple episodes, so we'll probably round that out. And I don't know. I don't know if they've already greenlit a season 3. I don't know what the plan is. I would imagine they would, because there's still a lot of story to be told, but I do think they kind of drug it out a little bit. I think, it's time for us to, see what we wanted to see. Like season 1 had, of the original Daredevil series, lots of good action. Like, okay, cool. Give me those fight scenes. Give me those, action sequence. You got the whole AVTF that I think, still running amok. Like, okay, man, let's deal with these guys. Like, what are we really doing? Are we going to do all lawyer scenes? Is it going to turn into like LA Law? Like, no, I don't want to see a court case, played. I don't want to see that. I want to see fights. I want to see people getting busted up and all types of stuff. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't know, because right now the only vigilantes they've really gone after would be the swordsman. They have Karen. With the White Tiger is dead, but so is his daughter. Is like taking his place, but she's not a
But
wanted
second gen.
vigilante.
Yeah.
Bullseye, they're technically after him, and then Daredevil. But we got a lot more. Supposedly, there's a lot more vigilantes. Like they put a whole task force together. So let's.
I mean, correct, right? It
Right,
wasn't
let's
for 3
find out.
people.
Yeah, give me somebody we weren't expecting. I don't care. Throw somebody else in there. Throw someone new in the mix. I'm cool with that.
So just an update, in September 2025, they did confirm we're getting season 3. They
Okay.
did confirm Iron Fist is coming in, and Luke Cage. We're getting
Confirmed.
Defenders. So we're
Cool.
getting the Defenders. It looks like it
I'm
won't
good.
be its own series. It'll just be season 3
Part of it is
of Daredevil Born Again.
Okay, I'll take it. That's like Captain America Civil War. That's cool. Call it whatever you want. Just give me everybody on the same screen.
Yeah,
That's
they're
it. That's all
filming
I'm looking
right
for.
now.
Yeah, that's all I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
So this will be kind of Civil War-y, right? Like they'll all be on the run and all that kind of stuff. So it should be interesting. I'm excited. I hadn't watched it in a couple of years until this past week, and I jumped in, grabbed it all, and just wow. Let me tell you, like they wrote season 1 2 years ago, right?
Mhm.
So it's very interesting how prescient this is, and I guess it's it's one of those things where it's just we're seeing art imitating life,
Right. Yeah.
but this time life's imitating art. So I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting, man. It is going to be interesting. I'm
It is.
excited for what we get with Spider-Man, see what they do with Punisher. Like we're getting closer though. We're getting
Yeah.
closer. July is going to be Spider-Man, right?
Yep. And that's going
All
to be
right.
interesting because, like, as we know, Spider-Man's identity is not known by anyone. So, again, we'll see how dark a return it takes. We've already had the introduction to Daredevil and the Spider-Man movie before that. I don't see them shying away from that. I can't see you doing that, showing that Easter egg, and then just doing nothing with it. So I'm anticipating a bigger role for him. I don't see how we don't introduce Daredevil in the next Spider-Man. I don't see how he doesn't have a bigger role. That would be
Where do you
such
think
a
it is in the
disappointment.
timeline? Where do you think it is in the timeline? Where do you think Daredevil Born Again season 2 is compared to Spider-Man?
I would honestly probably say it's simultaneous. I think it's going on at the same time. And I think that's how they're going to kind of play into it, because it'll be weird to say like, oh, well, he's on the run in Daredevil, but meanwhile, he's acting as Spider-Man's lawyer in Spider-Man. You know what I mean? So I think they will have to take place at the same time. I think that's how they're going to spin it. Like there's going to have some news about, oh, well, there's vigilantes running around Hell's Kitchen and Spider-Man's like, oh, I guess I should get involved and stop them. Meanwhile, it's Daredevil, So, because that's how they're going to
Yeah.
spin it. Mayor Fisk, because remember, Kingpin is a major Spider-Man villain. So now if he convinces Spider-Man, much like they did with Civil War, Daredevil's the enemy, Spider-Man being the, goody,
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
right, he's going to do his best to bring that vigilante to justice, right? So it'll be interesting. I'd love to see how that plays out.
Is Spider-Man not considered a vigilante?
Well, see, and that's the question, right? Like the vigilantes act outside of the law. 'Cause remember, they had the what do they call them? The Sokovia Accords, right? So there is some kind of federal oversight or of the Avengers. Like they've signed on. Like, okay, well, these are your. So you've kind of been ordained. Like, okay, no, you guys can do what you do, but you can't do these. You know, you can't do those things. So it's not like they're vigilantes acting outside of the law. It's that they're acting within their law according to the Sokovia Accords. So yeah, I don't know that
Okay. So
Spider-Man
they're
is
like
considered a
their own
vigilante.
task force in a sense.
Right. So there's some
Okay.
regulations, their own ABTF, I guess.
Well, I guess who's your biggest who's your favorite character from this season?
Oh, hands down is Kingpin. Like I said, just watching D'Onofrio act and bringing that character to life is like, man, that like I him and I don't know, I just have an affinity for villains because I try to understand them. I like the charisma a lot of them have. Also with Cottonmouth. When Mahershala Ali played Cottonmouth in Luke Cage, it was a phenomenal villain. And that's what I like to see. I just like to see, man, that dude is just smooth. It makes you want to be a like when I watched Joker, I was like, I get it. Like I get why people want to back this dude. Like, you know what I'm
Why
saying?
they
Like
go dark, yeah.
you can't tell me we weren't understanding what Thanos is getting at. You know, like he's not wrong, but you know maybe his methods are a little harsh. But like I kind of agree with him. So as I've gotten older, I've kind of understood the villain more, which is kind of scary. But it makes sense. There's just usually a motive behind it, right? There's usually a reason. And the thing that I've always had trouble with is like, what is the reason for the superhero? That was always a more difficult thing for me to understand. You're doing good just because it's the right thing to do. No one's making a very lucrative career out of being a superhero. The superhero business does not pay, right? I mean, we got
Yeah,
people
yeah,
working
but
at
hero complex.
right. We're working at Daily Planets. We're working at newspaper. We're taking photos. No one except for Tony Stark and Batman had money, and they had money, right? So it's not like they got money because
They
of
started with it.
superhero work. It just doesn't pay. So it's like, well, why are we doing it? Just because we're trying to just be good people. I have all these powers to do whatever I want, but I just want to be a good person. No, no, I don't trust that. That to me is like, no, nah. Superman, you got to give me something better than that, bro. Like you can literally do whatever you want, and you just say, well, I just want to do good.
That's why The Boys resonates with so many people, right? We've covered The Boys here on the
Homelander,
channel, and
exactly.
everybody gets
Homelander.
Homelander. There is no question about it.
I love it. Homelander's like, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and be God now. You're like, okay, that I understand. Is it right? No, but I get it. I understand. Like, if you're literally an ever powerful, all powerful being, what is your motivation? Like, what, Tony Stark said, what gets you out of that twin bed every morning? When he met Spider Man, it's like, what? Like, yeah, like, give me that. Like, what is it? Like, why are you putting yourself at risk for people you don't know? And it's just because you're a good person, like, I
The
don't know.
Spider-Man is because with great power comes great responsibility, right? Like he didn't stop somebody and then he lost someone close to him because of it. And so he that was the lesson he learned was when I don't do the right thing, people get hurt.
Hmm.
People I care about get hurt. And
Right.
so it
In that
became
in that
personal.
instance, right. So that will give you the, well, I want to take care of people, but at the same time, hey man, I gotta make some money. Hey, dude, I'm literally this guy, and I'm sleeping on, like I said, I'm sleeping in a twin bed in my aunt's house. Nah, man, no, no, I need that. It's like those things that I think about now as an adult, like when we watch GI Joe and Cobra. Cobra had the best equipment, hands down. Like it was no comparison. Where are they getting the money? Like these are the questions that we got to start asking, man. Like, okay, cool, this superhero work. What's the
Follow the
payoff?
money.
What's the payoff? Like, give me some motivation other than it's the right thing to do. No, no, no.
It's ego.
Right. Something's gonna get in the way of that eventually. Like, give me some struggle. Like Deadpool, I love it. He struggles. Like, anti-heroes. I love anti-heroes. I love the guy that just does self-serving. And that's more believable to me than just being a do-gooder. Like, it has to be some type of self-serving. You should struggle with that at some point, and you have to. There's no way. Superman should struggle with that daily, daily. And they were throwing like cans at the dude. Like he should have a Homelander moment. Like, did you just throw a can at my head and just zzz? oh, okay, yeah, you shut that down, right? Like, I'm serious, man. Like, give me some deeper
There's some
character
reality.
development, and that's what I think is
Yeah.
missing. Like, I'm not getting the real, like, okay, dude, like, yeah, what's motivating you?
It's
Like, what's
idealized.
right? You know what I'm saying? It's different when it's your mom, like Uncle Ben, but it's just random people all over the world. Like, oh, I'm just gonna take care of everybody because everybody's good and they deserve. That's why I understand.
Everybody's
I love
not
the
good.
villains. Villains, you know, oh,
Yeah.
it's about that money, it's about ego, it's about idealism, whatever. At least you know, okay, cool. I know why you're doing it, and that's why
I
I
did
just
struggle to
appreciate
connect
villains.
with I did struggle to connect with Daredevil when like people that he loves and cares about are getting killed.
Hmm.
And because he's refusing to end problems. And it's like this belief in a broken system, like our country wouldn't exist if people just believed in a system of appealing to a monarch, right? Like it doesn't work that way. So sometimes you have to go the opposite direction. But I don't know.
But they
Daredevil, you live in a make believe world if you're thinking that you can just get by without spilling, breaking some eggs.
right, but they, I mean, in that regard, if we're looking at people who lost loved ones, then you gotta look at Batman, you gotta look at Punisher, right? Punisher lost his family. He ain't out there trying to do good. He ain't trying to be a do-gooder. You know what I'm saying? He out there with one purpose. I'm eliminating all of them. You know what I mean? Batman, same thing. But it's like, okay, I'm taking criminals off the street, but he's a billionaire. You're like, oh, it's a hobby. I'm just beating guys up the street. I'm just taking them to the asylum so they can get out
He's
in
just
two
getting his
months.
rush. He's just getting his
That's it.
rush on the weekend.
Yeah,
He's sick
that's
of
what
his
I think
day
it is.
job.
I'm bored. I need something to do. That's a
Totally.
catch and release. That's all it is with Batman. Catch and release. Arkham Asylum has the worst security ever. These guys keep getting out. I keep bringing them in here. They keep getting out. Like, what's going on? Where are the trials? Like, what are we literally rehabilitating anybody? Like, I need those questions answered. He just out there catching them and just putting them back out on the street. I'd quit. That's neither
There
here
you
nor
go.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, but they make a story for a reason, right?
Right, right. And like I said, I get it, but again, I'm more of a realist. Like, okay, bro, even Mighty Mouse, bro, why? Why are you saving the day, bro? Like, what's the payoff? Makes me feel good.
Well, then on that note,
Right? God and family. That's why we do it, people.
there you go. So
Right, man.
we think we'll have some sort of big showdown, of course, in the next episode
I hope
because
so.
that's season finale.
Right, right. And I want robust season finale. I don't want to just a slow build into a cliffhanger. Like, no, come on, man.
Well, there's definitely going to be a cliffhanger. We already know because they've greenlit
Right, but
season
give me
3.
some meat in that sandwich before the cliffhanger. Like, don't just do a build up just to end it at the end of the season. Like, no, give me some good action, give me some good story in that season finale, and then you continue it for next season. Because honestly, that's how you lose people, man. Like, I will say, with Walking Dead, I know we come back to it often. Season 7, it ended on the biggest cliffhanger I think of all of television. Like, the Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo by Negan was classic, but they got right into it in the beginning of season 7. Like, there was no wait till the next episode. No,
Right.
season 1, episode 1, season 7, you knew exactly what happened. But right after that, went off cliff. Like, it was too much for people to handle. A lot of speculation, of course, but the end of season 6 gave you enough to like, man, I gotta come back because this dude is like, oh, man, like I already like, there's no way I can't see how this ends. And I kind of want that with this. I want a really good, like, oh man, what's gonna happen next? And okay, then give me the cliffhanger, but don't leave me like, oh wow, this is kind of slow. And then at the end, it's like, oh, there's the Avengers, and then cut face to black. Like, no,
I don't think we're at risk of that happening.
right?
But let me ask you for your prediction.
Mm-hmm.
Kingpin,
Right.
is he going to be in office or out of office at the end of the episode?
I don't see how he stays in office, or even if that's even a desire at this point. Like, he's definitely going to abuse his power. The governor, the attempt of her life, I think, that's magnified the need to get him out of office. So yeah, Kingpin is just going to go straight gangster. I think at this point, like, I don't think mayor is going to
I
even
think
matter.
I think it's going to be the only option because now he's going to have federal attention. He's going to have a lot
Too
of,
many eyes on
right?
him. Too many eyes.
Like they
Yeah.
killed a bunch of US Marshals in episode 7.
Yeah.
Like where's the people showing up asking questions about that? Like,
Right.
come on now.
Yeah. Some kind of
So
federal
I don't know.
investigation needs to happen.
There's got to be, you know, Elaine is gonna come over from DC and be like, "Hey, what are you all up to in this stupid city here?" Yeah, I don't know. We gotta see what's gonna happen. But
All right.
now I'm excited. Obviously, we know we're gonna have Defenders showdown in season 3. Hopefully, they don't. Do you think we'll see them at the end of season 2? I don't think we will. Because I don't. Certainly not Luke, and not Iron Fist, not Finn, whatever Finn's real or character name is, Danny.
Right. Yeah, but I think you'll probably get a Frank Castle, which is, to me, is kind of cheap at this point to do it in the last episode. Like, we already know he's part of the show, right? We've already had him in the show.
He's been in the seasons,
right? So wow, that's not really a cliffhanger for me. I think it's got to be alluding to something we haven't seen already. If it's just like, oh, Frank Castle again, like, okay.
We also know the CIA guy is Charlie. He's going to be switching gears and going against Kingpin now. So I wonder if he'll play some role, and maybe that'll bring in U.S. government or something of that nature. That'll be curious.
Yeah. But right
Or
now,
like that.
Bullseye is in the same boat as Daredevil and Kingpin's eyes. They're all need to be dealt with.
What's dude's name who played Captain America for like 5 minutes after Steve left?
Anthony Mackie?
No.
Chris Evans? Wait, Steve Ryder? What are you talking about? Captain America, Steve Ryder's, Chris Evans? Like, what?
There was. All right, now Google.
Wait, what? Are you talking about the?
You know what I'm talking about?
Thunderbolts? You said he played Captain America for 5 minutes.
Yeah, the guy that was pretending to be Captain America because when Anthony Mackie didn't have the shield, right? The Gap filler.
The one from the Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can never remember that dude's name.
Is he still alive in the MCU?
I think so. Honestly, I haven't seen the Thunderbolts, but you're talking.
It was
about,
so good.
Yeah, you're talking about Wyatt Russell. He plays U.S.
Yes.
Agent. That's the name of the
U.S.
character.
Agent. There you go.
Yeah.
That's why I'm wondering if we see U.S. Agent in this. I think that could be something interesting that they would bring in to shut down Kingpin. I don't know if there's any lore. I'm an MCU fan. I'm not a comics fan, so I don't know the comics.
Okay.
But like, I could see that being somebody, let's be honest, kind of affordable that they bring in. No hate, man. I'm not an actor. I'm a filmmaker, but I'm not an actor.
We need that T-Move version Captain America.
I'm just saying. I could see that being the kind of person that they bring in to throw at this problem. But I don't know if he's still with the franchise. I don't know if he's still alive in the franchise, to be honest.
I know the actor, that's Kurt Russell's son, I believe, right? Yeah, he's currently doing filming a Godzilla series for Apple Plus. So I don't know that he's available for this.
He's not available. Well, like I said, it might be affordable. Who knows?
Yeah, right,
just saying. But all right, well, cool. Yeah, I mean, we've got our predictions. You're saying he'll go out of office. I think you're right. I agree with that.
And he's just not gonna. Allen, I think Julia Louis-Dreyfus character, Valentina. That's who we're referring to.
I keep calling her Elaine because
I know. That's how we know her, man. Elaine from Seinfeld. I'm sorry, that's always gonna be her.
She will always be Elaine.
Yeah.
I'm excited. We're gonna be in Hell's Kitchen. I'm staying very close to Hell's Kitchen pretty soon here for our film festival that we're going to. That's right. Yeah, in June.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna be excited. At the North Film Festival.
Yes,
Heck
sir.
Yeah, brother. I got my hotel all lined up, so we're gonna go check it out. Go see our film. This Is Not a Draft. Show up there. I'm actually about to jump right now and go head to a screening of it here in Phoenix.
Cool. Yeah, definitely let me know how that goes, man. And if you guys, like we've been saying, man, This Is Not a Draft, definitely check it out. It's a really good it's a great documentary. So happy to be a part of it, and it is doing well. Again, man, hats off to you, brother.
The magic that we all created together is one of those things that the sum is greater than the individual. I don't remember the quote.
Some of parts. Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, all I know, man, was when you put all the stories together, it just made a really cool product. And so love sharing that. I'm going to go run right now and go head off to it. But thanks, guys, for watching this episode. We will be reviewing it again next week. Probably can't do Tuesday since Tuesday is the release day. What day you want to do next week?
Might be able to swing Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
we'll see.
So tune back in next week, next Wednesday, and we'll talk about the finale. And it's going to be real exciting. I'm excited to see what they do with it.
Let's go. All right, Thick Nick Fury out here. Till next time.
All right. Captain Jack out. Thanks, guys.